As part of Fáilte Ireland's supports on rebooting international B2B business, break-even and pricing for B2C and B2B, this video gives you guidance on how to use the pricing calculator for experiences. This simple calculator consists of 3 tabs: the pricing and break-even calculator, a cost calculations sheet, and an example sheet. In advance of completing the calculator, you will need to have the correct VAT rates and the relevant variable costs associated with the sale of a ticket or group. If you do not know offhand what your total cost inputs are, you can compute these on the cost calculations sheet. There are 3 cost categories that you will need to populate: payroll cost, variable costs, and fixed costs. What is the cost of hosting this group? The relevant staff, the number of hours, hourly rate, and the relevant PRSI and holiday entitlement rates. The variable costs are those costs which are directly attributable to the sale of the ticket, such as the cost of goods sold, an inclusion, for example, a glass of whiskey if giving a whiskey tour, or other direct costs. If you include an add-on as part of the ticket price, such as a cup of coffee, for example, then you need to include the cost of that also. The fixed costs of the business are those costs that do not fluctuate on output. For example, rent, rates, and insurance. Other fixed costs, such as general manager, sales and marketing, and office staff, general maintenance and repairs, and utilities can also be included as fixed costs. The pricing and break-even calculator is located here. Only populate the orange cells. There are 2 columns, option 1 and comparison. These will allow you to directly compare 2 scenarios, which will be helpful if you are working out the size of a group and different pricing options. Complete the questions as follows in this column. In advance of completing this, if you are unsure of the total variable costs, you can compute these using the Cost Calculations tab. Insert the number of people in the group. What is the ticket price? Insert the ticket price including VAT. Then insert the correct VAT rate for the ticket. The current VAT rates, reduced and standard, are shown here. Insert an add-on per ticket. These are inclusions that you may add to the ticket. For example, a beverage, upgraded beverage, gift, or memento. And again, insert the correct VAT rate for the add-on. The calculator allows you to include 2 add-ons. Insert the total variable costs per ticket here. These are the direct costs associated with the ticket and the add-ons. These costs will include the following: collateral, for example, a map or leaflet; the experience inclusion, for example, a glass of whiskey in a tasting tour; and any other cost that would be directly attributable to the sale of the ticket. This could include, for example, disposable gloves. Also include the add-on direct cost. This is the direct cost for the add-on. For example, the cost of a cup of coffee and a slice of cake. Insert your online transaction cost percentage here. This is only applicable for online transaction costs, such as third-party, OTA site commission, or your own website booking engine commission. Insert your payroll cost here. This is the payroll cost for taking this tour or group. Be sure to include additional personnel or hours if the number of your group increases and you require additional staff. Insert the fixed cost contribution here. The total ticket price is shown here. This is the ticket price including the add-ons and VAT. The net ticket price, that is the full ticket price excluding VAT, is shown here. These cells will then calculate your break-even sales required, your break-even units required, and your net profit or loss. The break-even sales is the amount of sales the business has to achieve in order to break even. The break-even number of tickets or customers is the number of units that the business has to sell to break even. Once you've completed option 1, complete the comparison here in this column. This will allow you to change the price of a ticket, add-ons, and/or the size of the group to help you to understand how this impacts your break-even and your profit. The Cost Calculations tab is not linked to the Pricing and Break-Even calculator. It is to help you with calculating each of the relevant cost areas, particularly if you are unsure of these. Again, only complete the orange cells. The payroll calculations are here. You will need to include the hours required for the group, the rate per hour for the employee, and the relevant PRSI and holiday entitlement percentages. There are 2 tables to populate, which you can use for different size groups. That is when you need to increase your staffing levels. Variable costs are calculated here. The variable costs include the direct cost of the sale of the ticket, as shown here, the direct cost of the add-on, for example, the cup of coffee and slice of cake, and then the total of both of these is shown here. If applicable, include the online transaction cost percentage here. This is only relevant for online sales where you will include your commission as a cost of sale. Calculation of your fixed costs are here. Insert your annual cost, either last year or the budget for this year, along with the total number of days that your business is open annually. This will then calculate your daily fixed cost rate here in this cell. In completing the pricing and break-even calculator, you may wish to use this fixed cost rate or a different rate, which will be a contribution towards your fixed costs. The final tab, Example, is a combination of the calculator and the cost calculations sheet, giving an example of the completed cells. The calculator and guidance note to support this video is located here on the Fáilte Ireland website. Please find the full suite of supports that relate to this video under Rebooting International B2B Business. Thank you for watching, and I hope you found this useful.